everybody, I decided to do a quick video on this Target exclusive Keurig K Mini. I decided after having my previous Keurig since 2012, it was time to upgrade to a slimmer, smaller model. I'm the only person in our household who actually drinks coffee, and so I decided that I no longer needed to sacrifice as much countertop space for a huge machine if I'm the only one who uses it. This Keurig K Mini actually is, I believe, kind of modeled after the K Mini Plus, and it is an exclusive version of this machine for Target, as I mentioned just seconds before. So it is different, even though if you look at the matte black K Mini, the picture on the outside is the exact same picture as the Plus, and it looks like and has pretty much the same features as that machine, but there are a few differences. I actually, before I bought this machine, I researched the K15 because it was originally the machine that I wanted, but I chose this machine over that one, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm also going to talk to you about the Keurig Universal My K-Cup adapter. I actually saw some conflicting reviews online about whether or not this adapter would work in this machine. Some people said that it didn't, some people said it did, and so I decided I wanted to check for myself to see. I'm actually going to be moving, we're in the process of moving, about 2.5 hours away from my current location, and the nearest Target is about an hour and a half away. So I decided to buy everything now, even though I now have to move this machine with me in the car when we go down this weekend, because I wanted to make sure everything worked and I could be in close proximity to a Target, so I can return it if everything didn't. So the features of this machine that will differ from a normal large size Keurig is that this machine has no standing water reservoir. So as you can see, you have to add water into here every time you use it, which is perfectly fine for me because I don't use it every day, and when I do use it, I usually use 1 cup of coffee. It's very rare for me to do 2 cups. So as you can see here, it has your fill line here on the side, and this model can actually do 6, 8, 10, or 12 ounce cups of coffee, which is awesome because normally you can just get up to that 10 ounce cup, which is another reason I chose this machine. Unlike the K Mini Plus, this, I'm pretty sure, does not come off for cleaning, as you can see, and so you would have to wipe this out. The K Mini Plus, the water reservoir comes out for easier cleaning, which would have been like a great feature on this machine, and I didn't actually know it didn't do it until now. I haven't read through all the instructions, so if it turns out later that I am just not strong enough to pop this thing off and it does come off, I will update this video. But as of right now, I am pretty sure this thing does not. Let's see if I can slide it back. Nope, I'm pretty sure this thing does not come off. It's on there pretty tightly. So, right, this does not come off like the K Mini Plus. Some people complained online about having to measure out how much coffee they wanted every morning, as it's an additional step for them. But personally, so far, what I've done is I've filled up my cup to how much coffee I've wanted and then poured it straight into the reservoir. I've also seen reviews stating that they did not get as much coffee as they put in, as the water they put in here, but I have not had that problem yet. So I think that is a specific problem that could be specific to individual machines. Another cool feature that the Plus and the Mini have is that you can actually push the cord back in here and then pop the rest of it in right here for ease of travel, so that you can travel with this machine easier, and so you don't have this cord kind of dangling all over your countertop if you're not using it, which is very nice. Also, another feature you will find on the K Mini Plus and the K Mini is that not only can you take this off for cleaning, but you can actually take the whole drip tray out. And as you can see here, it says travel mug, so you can accommodate taller travel mugs, as it has been an issue with the K15 and other models fitting a tall travel mug in here. Now you can do that. But I'll show you. I've been actually using this cup because all my mugs have been packed, and it's a fairly tall cup, and it works really well in here. And so not only is this machine smaller in width than the K15, but it is also taller here, so you can accommodate for bigger mugs, which is great. Now, a big difference here between your K Mini Plus and the K Mini is that the K Mini Plus has a strong brew button so that you can make stronger brews, and this machine does not have that. So if that is something that is important to you, I would pay the extra, let's see, it's $99 for the K Mini Plus online right now. I got this for $79.99, so that's $80, $100, like, I'd pay the extra $20 if that's like a very important thing to you. But for me, it wasn't a big deal, so I decided not to get it, and just, you know, save that extra cash here. Also, the K Mini Plus online comes in black and red, and it doesn't come in this color, which is Oasis. So that's kind of, you know, a rundown between the two machines. Reservoir doesn't come off, no strong brew button, but they are the same size, and they do brew 6, 8, 10, and 12 ounces. And the color is exclusive to this machine. Also, you can actually find it on a few of their other machines, but if you want the K Mini or the K Mini Plus, this is a Target exclusive color. Also, if you're used to having a Keurig that has a standing water reservoir, you'll notice that the machine actually brews a bit faster. My machine actually took about 2 minutes to brew a cup of coffee. This takes about 2 minutes to brew, which is still faster than your drip method, but the standing reservoir cups, I guess, can brew a cup in over, like, well, in under 1 minute. I've also heard reviews saying that this machine doesn't brew as hot as other machines, and though I can actually use my cup after I've brewed, it doesn't, like, the heat isn't coming through the cup or making it hard for me to hold, but it's still a hot cup of coffee. Maybe when I'm moved and I actually have my thermometer, I can try to test the two, because I still have it. It's packed and it's in a box in the new place. I could probably try to test the two Keurigs side by side to see whether or not that is the truth or not. But so far, the cup has been hot, though I do find it does cool off quickly. So that is one review I'm kind of seeing as ringing true in the moment. And the reason I chose this one over the K15 was that it was slightly smaller. I did like the color. The only one I saw at Target was a black one that looked like it had been returned. Online, of course, I can get a different array of colors, but none of them were really, except for maybe the plum, the black plum color, was really doing it for me. And my kitchen, the kitchen we're moving into, is kind of like one color right now, and I decided a pop of color would, like, kind of help freshen it up a bit, and I actually just really liked how, like, light this looked. Also, I did like that you can accommodate taller size travel mugs, because I do have a few ceramic mugs that I really like to use, and so I wanted the availability to be able to use them, and I loved how the cord easily went back into the machine. And also, as this is a newer model and the K15 is a couple of years old, I decided to get this one because the internals would be newer. I felt like maybe it would last longer, and honestly, it had better reviews. And so those were the reasons I chose it over the K15. Just newer internals, better reviews, a newer design. Though I do really like the look of the K15. So as I mentioned to you before, I did see some reviews online saying that this Keurig My Cup Universal Adapter did not work. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Nope, it is not liking this. There we go. Did not work in their coffee maker, in their Keurig. And my husband went on the website and was like, listen, it says it works for all of them. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. And so I decided to buy it. This is the normal, by the way. This is the normal cup that comes in here. And it was actually very easy to remove it. Like, I did have to, like, pop it out. but it wasn't as hard to remove as I remember them being, which was nice. And so the rundown here on this adapter is, of course, you have your mesh cup here. And the cool thing about this cup that I really like, and I don't know if I can get it, there you go, see it, is you have the fill line for a cup, and then the fill line up here for a travel mug, which is great. So it helps you load coffee better for, you know, an optimum cup instead of having a more like watered down cup, because you can only really fill the mesh strainer to, you know, one standard amount. So if you are brewing more coffee, you can, you know, pack it higher so that you're actually getting, what is it, the recommended 2 tablespoons or 2.5 tablespoons for 6 ounces. Well, 6 to 8, depending on the coffee you are brewing. This function, actually being able to use this in the machine, was very important to me, as economically it is more cost effective to brew your own coffee in one of these than it is to buy the K-cups, because if you think about how many ounces of coffee are in a K-cup versus how many are in a bag per cost, you're spending way more per pound on coffee in K-cups than you are in buying like pre-ground or grinding your own coffee. And also it is more environmentally friendly to do it this way instead of having to constantly throw away those little K-cups. So I have used this both ways. As you can see, I've already popped this out. I used it yesterday. So what you do is you stack this in here. Let's see if I do this one-handed. Lid, which turns and locks. This is the adapter that you would use in your Plus series makers. I would actually use this yesterday with the adapter. I just had to like push it in, and you would push it so that this loading pin here is here. And today I actually tried it without it, and I actually like that a lot more. So it worked both ways for me, but maybe it shouldn't have worked the first way. Like maybe I shoved it on there and I shouldn't have. But it also works with just the lid on, and you load up this white dot here with this slot, and it fit in there perfectly, closed easily, which was great. And it actually made a really nice cup of coffee. I think when I was younger, I didn't really notice the difference between different cups of coffee, but now that I'm a little older, I do really appreciate actually this blend. I am actually appreciating this Starbucks one a lot more, because I find that the actual flavor of the coffee is more even. Like it's more full-bodied. I've been noticing with other coffees I've been trying lately, it has like a really like acidic edge or aftertaste to it that I haven't exactly been liking. But this, I didn't get that, and it was just really flavorful. It was full-bodied. I really enjoyed it in here. I've been noticing with my older Keurig that every time I was making them, it was kind of feeling, even with the K-cups, like really watered down. And I wasn't enjoying it as much as I used to. And so I'm feeling like maybe that machine just needs to be cleaned more often, or maybe it was just getting old. I'm not sure, but when I made a cup of coffee with this last night and today, I was actually very impressed by the taste. One thing, though, to mention is that last night when I made it, about this much of the water came out like watery looking and with like tinged with like color, like tinged with yellow color. And then the rest of it came out dark and rich. But both times I got dregs at the very bottom, like sediment from the coffee at the very bottom of the cup that would settle. Stirring it, I didn't have any big grounds or anything in my cup. And so I can actually take out spoonfuls and look, and I can drink it. I didn't have a gritty consistency when I was drinking it. It wasn't, you know, gritty tasting. I didn't experience any grounds in my mouth, but just a fine, like, dreg, like just coffee dregs at the bottom, which is like a fine sediment layer, did settle at the bottom, and I was going to show you, but then I just decided to rinse the cup before I started the video. And so I looked it up, and just like a French press, Keurig advises that you use a coarse ground coffee with the adapter. And so this is ground. It's not telling me. I've been looking everywhere on it. This says obviously it's a medium roast. So I'm looking through all of this, and I didn't actually see something that said how coarse this ground was. It didn't say fine, didn't say coarse, like it didn't say anything. And so maybe I'm actually, next time I do this, I'm actually going to try grinding my own beans and just doing a coarse ground to see if that really does make a difference. It didn't bug me that much because, as I said, I couldn't feel it in my mouth or taste it in my coffee, but I didn't like that it was there. So I'm going to try a more coarse ground next time to see if it makes a difference. And I guess I can update you guys in the future if that really did change anything. But this is it, the Keurig K Mini. And it actually did, brew pretty quickly and stuff as well. I don't think I said, how quickly it brewed, but it was pretty fast. Still, like, a hot cup of coffee in under 2 minutes is still, pretty decent compared to your drip method. And since, as I've said before, it is only me drinking the coffee, it is way more convenient to have the Keurig, and I actually love that I can still buy the K-Cups if I want to do other things with it. And so that's why I decided to stick with the Keurig instead of just getting like a tiny, like, Mr. Coffee drip machine. A lot less to clean. I'm not going to waste any additional coffee if I'm not using it. And so to me, it was still worth it. And so far, I'm really enjoying this machine. So if you see this and you want to give it a try, I would advise that you do. So far, it has been working perfectly and I haven't run into any problems. But then again, I've only used it twice. So I guess only time will tell. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.